It's Zain and MJ. Welcome back to the show. Today on the show, we have got a little bit of a twist. Normally, we have Kiwi musicians. Isn't that right, MJ?
Yeah, it's really different today.
A little bit different. We've got a TikToker, over 100,000 followers on TikTok, which is unfathomable. That's not a word, I don't think, but it's giant. Charlie, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to Real Media.
Real media.
I'm joking.
Social media, yeah.
No, we'll be dead in a few years. You'll be skyrocketing still.
Yeah, no offense to radio, but digital media it's not doing well.
No, we know. Yeah, we know that there's some lack in the whole department. Seriously, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us, by the way.
No, of course.
Probably our largest guest that we've ever had in terms of like how many people you reach versus how many people we reach.
Yeah. How many people do you reach?
Fuck all. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I think we get an average each show just under 10,000 people.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
like every time you did a video, 10,000 people.
I mean, especially for digital media, that's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It fluctuates, doesn't it?
Yeah, it fluctuates. Sometimes it really depends on how consistent, as you probably know.
Yeah.
Because primarily with our show, it's less traditional than it is, like, say, like The Edge or ZM or something like that would be right.
Yeah.
We have a lot of social media. We do online audio stuff, podcasts, that sort of stuff as well. So,
and I guess also with us now doing the full show TikTok live, like on TikTok, that also helps with engagement, but it definitely hurts us in a way when we're over on summer break, there was nothing there. So I guess that's where our audience kind of fell off.
So does this stream on TikTok live as well?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so our TikTok kind of works sometimes, depends on how our system feels, but the idea is that our full show goes out to radio platforms like Rover, where you got all the music, specific talking segments, but TikTok has the microphones on all the time, so that if we and MJ are just chatting off air, people can just hear that and join in, which we've found to be really fun. A lot of people just they join in, we have conversations, and then we're able to bring that over to our actual show to create content. People call in from that. So it's a bit of a mix between traditional media and then there's a new media, I guess, in a way. Speaking of which, 100,000 followers on TikTok, reached that pretty fast. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels good. It wasn't that fast. I've been doing it for almost 3 years, so it's kind of slow, but it's not bad.
Yeah. And you're doing this tour of New Zealand via the bus. Why, can I ask?
So basically, I blew up doing comedy skits, right? So I was doing comedy skits, a lot of New Zealand comedy skits, but I've been doing it for so fucking long, I'm just not enjoying it anymore. So I was like, I want to do something that's kind of different, that's kind of fun, and so I did this New Zealand tour, and I've structured it in a way where it's like, the views from it have been really crazy. And so I just want to do something different. So that's why I've done it, and it's actually performing quite well. So I'm happy with it.
So is this the start of a different content that you're going to start producing rather than the skits?
Yeah,
the bus tour is almost like a medium between where you're planning to go.
So I'd like to do more vlog style things. I've done it in the past, and so that's what I've been quite looking forward to doing on this one. I want to do Australia next. I think that'd be cool. Probably not in the same format because Australia's huge.
Giant.
Giant. But that's probably where I want to go. I still like doing other people's skits. Like in Wellington, I did a skit with some food truck that got 1 million views, which was good. But I can't be bothered.
Just casually, 1 million
casual,
views.
Yeah,
casually.
I actually...
Have you ever sat down and actually thought about that, and the fact that if you look at say Spark Arena, that holds 20,000 people. That's more than if you were to stand in the middle of Spark Arena and talk to those.
It's pretty wild. Literally just before I came on here, I worked out exactly how much we've done on this tour so far. So we've done 4.4 million views across all videos, collabs, everything. So it's doing quite well. To be fair though, a lot of those, they won't be unique viewers. A lot of it will be repeat watchers, obviously, but it's still really good, and I'm very happy with it. My goal for it was 1 to 2 mil. So I
smashed it.
Yeah.
So, are you a bit of a social media nerd? Do you love the analytics behind it?
No. So I've been doing social media since I was a child, and I've always just enjoyed obviously I love making content, but I enjoy the analytical side of it just as much. So when I do stuff like this, I'm really obsessed with the numbers, which some people would say is not good, but I quite enjoy it.
Well, I think it's good.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
But some people are like, you shouldn't focus on the numbers, and I get that.
That's the filmmaker in people.
I think
it is.
Yeah, 100%.
It is.
To be in social media, you've got to understand what makes social media tick, what people like,
and what does well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in filmmaking, you just do what you want and just hope someone likes it. And that's where the difference between a social media, expert and a creator who just likes to make things is, different.
So how do you structure your videos? Do you do it like if your previous video wasn't performing well of that type, do you change how you do it, or?
Yep. I think how I can explain an example of this on this tour. So I did 2 videos that got like 20,000 views, and they weren't performing like amazingly for my standards. And so I looked at it and I was like, okay, so I kind of explain where I am, and then I segue into like, this is day X of traveling New Zealand. And so I cut out the bit where I said this is day X in the next one, and then I think that one did 1.1 million on Instagram Reels, and then like 300,000 on TikTok. So just like I cut that out because I was like, this might be dragging it on. The only reason I kept it in is because it was like a call to action to try to get people to follow me. But yeah, if it sacrifices the actual video quality, I'll get rid of it.
Did you ever study this? Just by the way, is this just you've just?
I think it's just from developing it over time. Wow. It's not really. It's less of like, I think it's mostly just from experience. Yeah.
Wow, it's because what you've been saying is very impressive. Like the way that the words that you say versus what they mean. It's very professional. The stuff that you'd hear in traditional media. Call to action. The hooks, all that sort of stuff. I guess that's what a lot of people in traditional media who can be a bit snobby. Let's be honest. They look down at like someone on the TikTok, and it's not as impressive as what the radio or your TV is. But in reality, people on TikTok probably reach more people than in traditional media.
100%, yeah. And I think
are actually probably smarter than people in traditional media. Excuse all the people in traditional media.
I guess there's in terms of what there's probably things you learn better on each one. Like I'm sure there's things that people on traditional media could teach me that I would never figure out on my own. But yeah, I think I don't know.
Have you ever thought about going into the world of traditional media, doing something along that lines?
Okay, actually yes, kind of. I experimented a little bit with the news page. I had a website, and because I own a small Instagram news outlet thing. So like I experimented with a website and that, but then after doing it for a bit, I was like, I don't like traditional media. This is kind of dead.
Yeah.
So I still own this Instagram page, which still posts news and that, but it's just, I'd rather just to have it on there rather than having a website and stuff. Yeah, the conversion from Instagram onto another website is quite low as well, so it's not really worth it.
What would you say to someone who wants to get started in the world of social media, like who not just wants to create, but wants to reach people in a way?
I'd say just go for it and be consistent. There's no like hack. It's just you do it. Just do it and be.
So you can't just pay someone $100 for that course and then to learn everything from that.
No, absolutely not.
So how have you found it across platforms? Because I know for us, we find that Instagram does way better than TikTok. How does your followers
weirdly
change?
TikTok used to perform better for me, and I mean I still get views on TikTok, but like I've noticed a shift where I actually get more views on Reels now. So like I did a video at the Napier countdown, and I think that
saw that.
That was the one that got 300,000 on TikTok, which is heaps, but then it got like 1 million on Reels. So like it's weird. I think more people are starting to use Reels now.
I think I was watching that just before you arrived, actually, on Reels.
Funny story. When I was in Napier, I walked past a store and a group of people walked out, and I heard them talking about my TikTok. They didn't know who I was, but they were talking about my TikTok as I walked past them. It was so weird.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird. It must be weird for you because you reach so many people, but yet so many people won't recognize you.
They won't.
It's in especially just the wilderness.
Yeah, no. So like, I think a funny example of it is I'll be at like a party and people they'll think we've met before, and they'll be like, "Gee, have I met you? Like, where have I met you before?" But I don't know who they are. It's just they've seen my videos, but like they won't know. They won't recognize me. It's weird because like I get that a lot actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like that.
Yeah.
How's it been collaborating with other people along this trip as well? Because I've seen you've done a fuck ton of it.
Yeah, no,
right?
So that's the other thing. I was like, I want to do is smash out as many collabs as I can. Other than this, I don't really have anything else to do in Christchurch. I couldn't find any.
Really?
I couldn't think of any. I mean, in terms of
Christchurch not representing. Come on.
In terms of like,
I'm supposed to be the second biggest. You know what I mean? Has you been? How many places have you been on this trip that you haven't been to before? That
like almost all of them pretty much. I haven't really explored New Zealand much, to be honest.
Like your video in Hamilton, because was that your first time in Hamilton?
Yeah, first time in Hamilton. I think the only place I've been to on this trip was like Pai here, which is like and Cape Reinga, those two, so like far north. But other than that, I haven't been. And Wellington when I was like a child. But other than that, I haven't been anywhere else.
So you don't travel very often, then you kind of
no, I haven't much. No, not before.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess this is like brand new for you, seeing the country as well, and also a whole like TikTok, Instagram experiment, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to like Instagram and TikTok, with this whole TikTok ban situation that's happened in the States, how are you coping and feeling around that whole situation with the potential that, it doesn't really affect New Zealand, but it does in a greater way? Because if everyone moves from TikTok, say, I don't know, Red Note, for example, how does that affect you?
So like on like a personal scale, I'm not actually that affected by the ban. Like in a weird way, it would kind of benefit me, but I think that in general it's stupid and it should not be happening. Because all of my content is like kind of around New Zealand and our culture. It's like it's not getting banned here. It'll be fine there. And in a weird way, then I'd also have less competition.
True. That's true.
Knock it at half the competition. You said that, obviously you do a lot of Kiwi style content, things that are really, focused on the Kiwi audience. How does overseas people react with that sort of content? How do they...
So whenever I have a video hit internationally, if it hits Americans, a lot of the time they'll I don't know, it's kind of weird because Americans are quite American-centric. So they'll be like, if I do something like if I use something, I don't know how to describe it. They kind of just forget that the rest of the world exists, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, even with like Canada, like I think I did a video on like Hamilton, and then a bunch of people being like, "This isn't in Hamilton," and they're all Canadians because there's Hamilton in Canada as well. Yeah, I've got I think my American audience is really small, like literally like 2%. It's not really.
So is the majority of your audience still from New Zealand?
Yeah, it's like last time I checked, it was 60% New Zealand, 20% Australian, and then there was just like a bunch of weird small ones.
Oh wow! So you do reach quite a lot of Australians then.
Yeah,
I guess the kind of two cultures do cross over a little bit.
It's I have a wider Australian reach with. So I do live streaming as well. I've just started doing live streaming, and the clips that I post from those do quite well, and a lot of the audience from there is a bit more international.
Yeah.
But on my actual following on my main accounts, it's mostly New Zealand.
So why do you do the live? So what benefits you from doing those?
The getting your face out there aspect of it's really good. So like when I did a stream in Wellington, we average like 10 to 20 concurrent viewers, so not like literally nothing. But the clips from those streams just do stupid numbers. So like the first stream I did was with a porn producer in Auckland.
Yep. Yeah. I have a funny story about NZ Dan. I had a co-worker at one of my old jobs that was called Dan. He was very smart with the ladies.
Yeah.
And me and my co-worker would be chatting about, because he left, and we're like, Then one day I came into work and I said, guess what I found on the old, And I was like, I found a guy called NZ Dan. He's like, what? Dan? Like Dan? I was like, well, it could be. I don't know.
True.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Dan was actually was quite as large.
Yeah, no, it's because his following on Instagram doesn't reflect how many people know him, I guess.
I guess it's kind of...
Yeah, because like, so linking back to the thing I was just talking about with live streaming, we did, on that stream we averaged like 20 concurrent, but then the clips from that did, I think, 500,000 or 600,000 views.
Yeah,
like
wow.
It's like the margins on those are quite nuts, because you look at like top streamers like Kai Cenat, they will get like 100,000 concurrent, and then clips will do 50 million views.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite crazy margins.
Can I ask just a quick question? You did a skit with him.
Yeah.
We had a Lamborghini. Is that actually his?
Yeah, that's actually his Lamborghini.
We're on the wrong business here, Jay.
Yeah, honestly. Well, can we go back to NZ Dan?
Yeah.
Are you curious?
So I added a whole bunch of people on Snapchat, hey?
See, MJ and I have swapped a lot of our personality traits over the last year and a bit of doing this show. But before I was, the whole Snapchat person,
the person in the mess,
people chatting. You meet all the people doing the whole quick ad sort of hoe phase, I guess. And then obviously I've got myself a girlfriend now, and that's since completely stopped. But MJ never understood the point of Instagram.
I understand Instagram. It's just Snapchat. I never What?
Yeah.
I never understood that part of it.
But since he's explored and has started experimenting with the whole Snapchat side of things.
Yeah, and it's been interesting. Like over the past, it's got to be a month or so. I got Snap Plus and all that.
You got Snap Plus.
It was
Why?
for 50 cents, expiring in 2 days.
Are you 14 years old? Why would you get that?
I don't
It
know
was a free
this.
trial,
MJ,
so I got it. It's expired.
You're going down a real dark path here, man.
I don't
Is
know
that
how
why
much
our
I'm
Snap
supposed to-
streak doesn't end? Is that why? 'Cause I don't use Snapchat anymore.
Actually, to be fair, no. You sent me a thing of your getting your haircut. Anyway, do you post on Snapchat as well, or is this?
Nah, I don't really understand this. I actually probably should. I don't really understand it. I know that a lot of like huge, really famous people make a lot of money on it, but I don't really understand how it works, and I'm not huge, so I don't know.
You are pretty.
But like the people that I see doing the best on Snapchat are people with like millions, American
Yeah.
people with like millions of followers, because you can make like really stupid
Which is
money
weird
on there.
because Snapchat's dead in America.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I thought so. I thought it was kind of like Australia, New Zealand that Snapchat's only kind of
Yeah.
really surviving.
True. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
But,
so I think you should get on Snap. Yeah, make some
'cause,
more
like,
money.
True.
Not like that. Not like that, MJ. Not
Oh,
like
no,
that.
no.
No.
Nah.
So you said before that so you've got a larger following amount on on TikTok at the moment.
Yeah.
And then you said that your Instagram videos are performing better than TikTok.
Yeah.
So does that mean a lot of your followers aren't at least on TikTok, are they not rejoining and revisiting your page to watch more content compared to like Instagram, or how does that work?
Honestly, I don't know. It's weird because my Instagram viewership tends to be higher, but I've way less followers on Instagram. Like I think I've got 20,000 on Instagram, whereas the TikTok's at 100,000, but then the views are less. Honestly, I don't know.
So for a creator, then is Instagram a better platform for you to be on to reach?
I'd say there's
grow.
I'd say there's pros and cons to both. I think it's a lot harder to start on Instagram in opposition to TikTok. Like on TikTok, you can have 0 followers and you can have a video go viral, and that can happen on Instagram, but it's a bit harder. I think an example of that would be, do you know that the guy in the Dragon Mafia Kings and Queens guy in Auckland? He's like a crazy person who posts on TikTok, I guess. And one of my friends did an interview with him that got like, I think 400,000 views on TikTok, and then it got like 7,000 on Instagram because he has no following on either. He's a very small creator, but but because TikTok, the algorithm's a bit better with those early creators, he got pushed out a lot more. And then I actually reposted his video onto one of I own a bunch of kind of Instagram pages, so I reposted it onto one of them.
Can you disclose any of them, or would you prefer not to?
Shit, that's actually a good question. I can show you. I'll show you one of them. But yeah, I reposted it onto one of those pages, and I think on Instagram, then I got him like a couple 100,000 views off of that. So this is probably the biggest one. So then.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I've got like.
He sees some small pages.
Yeah, and then I've
How
got,
much followers are they?
That's small. I'm sorry.
What's small? What's small
that's
to him?
small. I must be
the
non-existent.
network's like it's. I think 350,000 on all the pages, so it's pretty good.
So why do that? Like personal? You got your personal.
Yeah. So these pages is because it's so that I can promote my own stuff. I repost my old videos of mine, then they'll get I can get extra views through that, and then because for me, I don't really care about getting the views on my page. I don't care about making profit off of these videos. My thinking is I just get as many eyeballs on me as possible. So then I just I repost old videos, so we do another 100,000 views, so that's another 100,000 people who've seen my stuff. And even if they've seen me in the past, it'll reinforce who I am to them. And all of the live stream clips go up on these pages as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So almost like your own fan base, but it's still you. Is that almost what it is?
Also it exposes my videos to people who would never see my content in a million years. Yeah, because I repost myself on these pages, I get hate that I normally wouldn't get as well, which is interesting. But that just shows to me that it's pushing it out to people who would never see my stuff otherwise.
How do you deal with hate?
I don't care.
You just
I don't care.
Don't care. Water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, it's fine. It's all right."
Zane could never.
I care too much. I have too much ego. Traditional media be like. Okay, so you're reaching hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Millions
so that
of people.
top page, it might be down at the moment because I've been touring, so I haven't been posting much on it. But that top page usually does like 50 million a month, and just impressions. None of that's my face. It's just random videos and
just random.
But
is that what they call like those faceless accounts?
Yeah, it's Instagram theme pages. It's a pretty big. It's kind of harder to do now, but it used to be like like my biggest page, I grew it to like 200,000, like 2.5 months, 3 months. That page I sold, but
sold? It's how do you sell a page?
Yeah.
How does that?
I honestly regret selling it. But I don't know. I just got reached out and then they asked to buy it and I sold it because I had no money. But now I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't do that. But
yeah, well, I mean, money can be very tempting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Instagram is an interesting place compared to TikTok. What about Facebook? Are you on that at all? Are you doing that whole thing?
Okay, so my videos, I think they're automatically posted onto Facebook.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should probably create a Facebook page. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why I haven't.
Facebook's coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone I know is using Facebook to watch reels and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, like I get extra views from Facebook, so I probably should create a page. The food truck that I collabed with in Wellington, the video that they posted with me, I think it did like 30,000 on Instagram, and then like I can't remember how many hundreds of thousands on I think it did 500,000 on TikTok, and then on Facebook it did like 600 or 700,000 as well.
Can I just say, you are always on go. Your brain seems to be always on when it comes to numbers and all that sort of stuff. How? No, too lazy for that. How? Like, does that mean you're always on in terms of content? Like, what this can make content, this can do that, this could potentially reach this sort of audience? Yeah,
I don't know. I'm kind of just, it's kind of weird. I'm kind of just constantly going with it. Like, I don't really stop that much.
Have you ever thought about doing consulting for other people?
I mean, yes, but I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that?
Nah.
Like,
no.
You want to be there. You want to be.
You want to be the.
I like doing it myself. Yeah, I don't really like having to talk. Like report to other people, like even if like
because like brands would pay, I think would probably pay.
Yeah, I just don't. I know. I just don't. I don't like working for other people. I can't do it.
That's understandable. Being your own boss is the best thing in the world. 100%. Yeah. Speaking of brands, do you work with a lot of brands? How does that? Because you're reaching a lot of people. That would be very valuable to a lot of brands. Yeah, I mean, I work with brands occasionally. I don't like my money that I actually get from my personal pages isn't that much. It's mostly through ads on all of my other stuff and affiliate marketing and. But you're full time doing content creation. Yeah. This entire trip's paid for through content, which is good. It's but that is. But the actual cool. Like the TikTok side of it doesn't pay that much. It's actually like unless you're like huge, it can be actually quite hard to subsist off of it, I guess. What's the environment around content creators here in New Zealand? Are you guys all like got a group chat that you're best buds in? Or? It's quite interconnected. I've met most creators here. Yeah, I don't. It's quite connected, but yeah, like, do you know what CreatorCon is? Yes, that's probably the main networking event that you'd meet most people at. I think the biggest people I saw there last year was like Theo Shakes and Terrell Tuffer. I think there was some guy from UFC or something there. I can't remember his name. I don't remember his name, but everyone was geeking out over him as well. That's probably like the main... like most of the people in the New Zealand content world, like you, like really smart when it comes to all the whole social media and what makes a video and that sort of stuff. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you've got to have a certain brain for it. I think, especially when you meet, it's weird because when you meet the people who are like at the top of their game, like I was asking questions to like Terrell and stuff. They all are so onto it because he's been relevant for like Terrell's been relevant for like a decade, I think, over a decade, because he was on he had the Cougar Boys and shit, which was big on YouTube back in the day. And people like Theo Shakes, do you know who Theo Shakes is? Yeah, he's just an amazing actor, like, but he's also a real humble dude. But like they've all got like it's Buzzy talking, they've all got like a real good brain for it. Wow. Have you attended the TikTok awards yet? No, I haven't. Rude. They got to invite you. Rude. Yeah, I don't really care for that many of those events though, to be honest. It's weird with stuff like that because how most people get invited to that is through their agencies. So like, no shade to a lot of creators, but a lot of creators who go to those they're quite irrelevant and they don't have any views. But they're signed to an agency, so they get into those events. Yeah. So you're completely independent. I'm completely independent. Yeah. I would never sign to an agency. Because also, like, I've heard stories of people getting fucked by them, and then also, like, I can just do it by myself. I don't need them. But I think it works for people, though. The creative industry sounds so much like the music industry. Yeah, you know? Record labels fucking people over and all that shit. Yeah, I've got a friend who's currently stuck on a 50% contract, which is pretty... 50? So 50% of everything you earn, you'd have to give. Yeah, it's brutal. So, like, he got, like, a... I don't want to be too specific, but he got, like, a pretty big contract that was, like, over... Like, it was, like, around 10 grand, and then... 50% of that's just out the door straight away. Wow. Yeah. That is nuts. Yeah. Absolutely nuts. Well, we went well over our 20-minute mark. That's normally way harder for us to do. Thank you so much for joining us. Picking at your brain, this has been absolutely amazing. I've loved this.
It's been so interesting to see how it's almost like the music world and the creative world are so similar. Since we normally deal with like musical guests.
Yeah, like the music industry, it's a lot more catered towards people who are also creators now.
Yeah.
Like, people like Frankie Venter have a massive presence on Instagram from what I've seen, through Reels and stuff.
Have you gone to one of her concerts?
Yeah, I've not actually, no.
Missing out. She's a bop, 100%.
True.
Yeah. There's heaps of like Kiwi artists like around that I think a lot of people don't understand are actually really cool, fun people. They're like, don't not just to make cool music, but like are just cool people in general. Like, we've had Lucy Gray on a few times. She's so
really?
amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Lucy Gray is I went to high school with her. She's absolutely amazing. And then you got Flynn Adamson as well, another one from Christchurch. He's just out and about like pumping out content all the time as well. You got who's up in Auckland? Is Lottie in Auckland? Is she somewhere?
Lottie, yes, she's Auckland based. Sophie Moyd, she's in the Mount.
Yeah. Honestly, there's so many people around this country that are people who aren't.
How do you get those guests? Do they reach out to you, or do you reach out to them, or is it like through?
A bit of both?
Oh yeah,
it's a real bit of both. We've just hired a producer to help us out with that because I work full time. MJ's still in school. Yeah, like it's a lot of work for doing a weekly show. That we've had to bring someone else on board to help us out with that. But all we do is on our Instagram feed, on our account at least, it's just all Kiwi creators and like cool. Artists and stuff like that. I had a little
look. It was pretty. Buzzing out.
So like if we would jump on our account and just go into Reels, they would just all be Kiwi artists, and people just pop up in there, and you look through other people's followings and find new people and stuff like that. It's, there's a whole world out there that people don't understand. Yeah, and I think
one thing that we always ask all our artists is, who would you like to collab with? So I guess this still applies to you. Who would be like the best collab for you?
This could be worldwide as well. Doesn't this have to be?
I don't know. There's so many people I want to collab with. That's a pretty difficult question to answer, to be honest.
Is there anyone that you, when you were younger, watched that like you've got to meet over time?
Jimmy Jackson. Yeah, I used to watch him quite a bit, so it was buzzy meeting him. I've only met him once, which was when Speed was up in Auckland. Yeah. But
what was that like? Because that
was pretty full on.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I got up into the Sky Tower with them. Yeah. And so it was impossible to interact with Speed because he had like 6 bodyguards. They were making sure that like it was pretty much like impossible to get to him. But then because me and Jimmy, we follow each other and stuff, so we knew who I was able to have a little conversation with him, which was cool. But yeah, it was impossible to get near Speed.
But it was cool just to be around that whole environment.
It was insane. They were like at that Speed thing. Once everyone figured out that it was going to be at the Sky Tower, like every exit surrounding the Sky Tower was just crowded with people. It was like a huge zombie horde of human beings. It was nuts.
Has that been kind of like, maybe not on that scale with your tour that you're kind of doing of the whole country? Have you got to meet some of your like fans and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was talking to him about this before. So like big cities, no one really, like people don't really talk about it much, but whenever I go to a small town, it's a little bit weird because people in small towns, I guess they talk. So then like I had like, I think Taupo and Rotorua were quite crazy. In Rotorua, there was this, I had like one kind of weird stalkery interaction with someone. I got sniped. Wow. I got sniped a couple of times on stream, but it was all fine. It was all tolerable. And then when I went to Taupo, like stream snipes, like people. Yeah. And then
it's so traditional of you, EJ.
Yeah, and then in Taupo, I posted a story in a cafe being like, "Who's in Taupo?" And then some girl like pulled up and showed me the Instagram story, and then like we could see in the story was like the ceiling. So that was, and then also there were like some kids who were riding around on their bikes trying to find where I was, and then like they found me eventually, and like that shocked me. I posted on my story being like, "Bro, these kids just found me. Like what the hell? Like they were just riding around trying to figure out where I was at." And then I realized that that's probably not a smart thing to encourage, so I deleted it. But yeah. So yeah, small towns are pretty wild, but like big cities, no one cares, and it's not that bad.
Where's your next stop from here?
Dunedin. I don't have many like small town stops here. It's just so Christchurch, Dunedin, and then Invercargill, and then I think I'll go to Bluff. I don't even know how to get to Bluff, but I'll go to Bluff. And then I was going to do Stewart Island. I had it all booked, but I fucked up the booking a little bit, so unfortunately I have to cancel Stewart Island, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, it's still the entire length though, so it's good.
Epic. I've asked you off here a few times, Christchurch, how have you found that? You've not had really much to...
No, I've been so busy. I haven't had time to properly explore it, and I probably won't, to be honest, because I have so much work to get through. But yeah, no, I would definitely come back here at some point because it's very nice.
Christchurch is a very underrated city.
Yeah.
There's so much to do around here. Like, just everywhere. MJ came down about a month or so ago now.
Are you from Auckland?
Yeah, I'm Auckland based.
Okay.
We
hopefully moving down next year.
We do the show remotely together.
Oh, is it always remotely? Oh,
yeah, always.
Fuck, true.
We've only ever
How'd
done
you guys link up then? Like,
technology.
true.
Yeah.
No, seriously, yeah. MJ links in, kind of like a Google Meet or like a Teams call or something like that.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that, but like on a high quality scale, and it's just kind of like that. And just got to pray to God that it works.
The show still goes, to be fair.
Yeah.
It doesn't half the time.
How long have you been doing it for?
This is our, we call third season.
Oh, yeah.
This is about coming up to 2 years now.
That's pretty good.
Yes, because we did one season of... Season 1 was in Miami. We did a radio station there.
Yeah, we were, because I used to work for a radio station as a digital content director in Miami, and then they...
Like America, Miami?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And I took over.
Yeah.
They're now the #1 radio station there.
Oh, fucking hell. That's huge.
And then we did our show.
Yeah.
I got really bored because it was not, I wanted to do Kiwi content.
Yeah,
and
fair
I left. MJ took over my role there, and he still does it now. He's build that station. I did fuck all. I'll be honest. And then we went off on our own and did this, and then we've just kind of like, we're technically on a few different radio stations, but we thought at one point we were kind of branded to one, and then we just didn't really want to be stuck.
Is this your main gig? Sort of? Or?
Yeah, I work full time. I mean, like other work, but like in terms of like doing this show, this is, we just kind of do the show for us and what we want to do, and then if someone wants to pick it up,
you've built a pretty
brand.
You've built a pretty decent brand. 2 years, a little bit under 10,000 people tune in, 5,000 followers on Instagram. That's pretty solid for radio.
And not gonna lie, we've been very inconsistent with this show. We're supposed to be a lot more consistent with this, but it just hasn't been there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but
is it just because of work?
Yeah, and just because it's just hard being remote.
No, it is. It's real hard because the energy
is hard.
Yeah. Normally, it's on a Friday night we do the show, and I'm like sitting here waiting for it to work, and I'm like, I just want that weekend to begin. Yeah. And then when it doesn't work, we both get frustrated because we can't hear each other or see each other. And then we're like, why do we do this half the time?
But we do enjoy the whole radio thing, and that's...
Yeah, no,
that's where we are concerned about the whole traditional media. We want to continue that.
Would you ever take the podcast sort of route?
We did.
True.
I hate it. I love pushing buttons, playing music.
Yeah, I think the whole radio kind of thing is cool. Like it seems like
cool. It's just the whole industry really needs to have a hard look at itself and figure out how it's going to adapt to this new. Yeah, I mean, world.
I think there's this one guy who does radio who I always see on my TikTok feed. Like I think there's ways you can do radio where it's also like kind of modern media. Like you do like a segment where you can cut it into clips and then post that.
And that's what radio has done. They do the whole social media clip thing, and but it really does just look like a podcast. Yeah, true. And it's like at that point you might as well only spend an hour to do a podcast other than spend like 8 hours planning, recording, producing all that sort of show sort of stuff. I think we better leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Absolutely amazing to have you on here. It's really cool to have, a creator on the show. It's a different perspective, a different style of work to what we are used to. Again, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Of course, if you want more creators, get this guy on next. He's got a bit of a following as well, and he's a very interesting person to talk to as well.
Have some self-confidence, bro. You're just like, nah.
And he's actually in Christchurch.
This is true.